What's up, people? I don't normally do this stuff, but after spending the weekend seeing and reading the things that Brian Kemp has been trying to spread around against Stacey Abrams, and the kind of racist vitriol that he is trying to stir up against Stacey over the issue of immigration, really made me feel like I couldn't let it more than today pass without saying something about it, because it's becoming clearer that that Kemp intends to run and try to win this election using what you pretty much can call the Trump playbook, which is to not convince a single person that his ideas have more merit and win them over, but to mobilize people on the issue of racial hatred, to try to win this election by stirring up the sort of darkest aspects of politics and the nastiest, dirtiest sort of politics, and really getting down there in the gutter and trying to stir up that resentment that you see among some white working class folks. And I really just think it's important, because it's important to make clear that Brian Kemp's politics are not about lifting up anybody other than the super rich. Let's get that clear, that this guy is not on the side of white working class people. Not a single thing that he is talking about doing will help put more food on the table of a single working class person in the state of Georgia. Nothing that he is doing is going to improve the quality of education that children are getting in the state of Georgia. Nothing that Brian Kemp is saying or proposing to do is going to make Georgia a better place to live for working class people, including white working class people. He is not on our side. He is nothing but the puppet of the racists and the CEOs and all of the people who are trying to hold down working class people in this state. He is not trying to create a state where everyone can prosper, including people who work for a living, including people who have to put in a hard day's work in order to make ends meet. He is not proposing to help you if you are one of those people. He is trying to help the billionaire class who runs this state, who own the corporations that employ people in this state, who have an interest in keeping wages and benefits down. And instead of trying to create a society that lifts people up from the bottom, he is simply trying to enrich a very tiny number of people in this state who would benefit from his policies. So in closing, working class folks, don't buy the bullshit. Brian Kemp is peddling poison. Don't buy it. Stacey Abrams is fighting for a Georgia that's going to lift all of us up and help everyone in this state prosper, including our children, and we need her as the next governor of Georgia. So, think about this stuff, because it's important. It's your family's future is what's at stake, and you really don't want to fall for this deceptive, poisonous, divisive set of politics that is only going to serve the interests of rich folks. It's not going to help you or me or any of our neighbors be able to have a better life in this state. So it's time to stand up. It's time to fight back. It's time to support Stacey Abrams, and it's time to say no to Brian Kemp.